benefited from a more open style of play is their star, Mike Modano.
Well, he's a mark player for everything. He penalty kills. Modano does everything. He penalty kills, power play. He does everything, even strength. The thing about Modano, he does everything in fifth gear. This guy can fly. He can dominate himself. On the power play, he's effective with his speed wide. The Capitals D have to pay close attention to Mr. Modano. And how about this guy? First visit back since being traded, Kevin Hatcher, one of the towers back there with his brother. You look at Kevin's totals, 14 goals, 22 assists. That leads this hockey team. The Capitals are worried about Kevin Hatcher because he likes to jump in the play so much. He's always going to be the fourth or fifth guy. You'll even see him behind Jim Carey, I'm sure, this afternoon. So he's one guy that the Stars rely on to create offense from his defensive position.
Well, one of the guys the Capitals have counted on lately to provide offense is a newcomer, but an old face to Capital fans. Todd Krieger, coming over in a trade from Anaheim, has been magnificent in his brief stay with Washington.
Oh, he certainly has. 3-3 over the last two games. That line has really clicked. Juneau and Pete playing with Krieger. They didn't expect this type of production from this guy. They expect him to be a utility guy, a guy that can play all three forward positions, but he's fit in wonderfully, and what an addition. He's been using that speed, creating opportunities. And this guy, Mark Tenorti, still coming back from those concussions, hasn't been, I don't think, his old self. He hasn't been banging people, hasn't been nailing guys in the neutral zone against this Dallas team with the speed that they have from Nieuwendyk, Modano, Benoit Hogue. Tenorti has to be a factor this afternoon defensively by making some crunching body checks.
Of course, Mark Tenorti traded for Kevin Hatcher. As Hatcher returns, he's excited about this game. And you know, seeing the Dallas Stars will bring out the best in Mark Tenorti. We've got a good one on hand for you today. Before we get started with this one, let's head downstairs. Caps coach Jim Schoenfeld is standing by with our Dave Johnson.
We get set for the St. Patrick's Day game against the Dallas Stars. Indeed, the game's coming fast and furious. Every game's so important now, and obviously the fans feeling the pressure, and so the players feeling the pressure. How do you deal with a team during a stretch like this where every game is so important?
Well, every game has been very important for us for a long time. We feel right from the beginning of the season in this conference we're going to be in a dogfight, and we haven't been disappointed. So pressure is only what you make it. It's something that should enhance your performance. We have guys in our team that embrace pressure. Those that shy away from it will not do well. Those that embrace it will excel.
You have a Dallas Stars team this afternoon that, for whatever reason, has not done well against the Eastern Conference. It's a much different team, sort of, than the one you saw in October. They've got Joe Nieuwendyk now. What do you expect this afternoon?
Well, they haven't done real well in their last three games, but prior to that, they got themselves right back into the playoff hunt, and they're certainly not out of the hunt over in their conference. So we would expect them to be a desperate hockey team today, as we are. So I think it's going to be a very intense battle, and a battle where neither team wants to make many critical errors.
Best of Irish luck this afternoon.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, head coach Jim Schoenfeld will send it back upstairs to Irish Alan Craig.
All right, Dave O'Johnson, thank you very much. So we hear what Jim Schoenfeld is talking about with his club. But let's break it down to some important categories. For that, we go to Lachlan's checklist.
Oh, Locker, here it is. Here we take a look at offense. The Caps get it. How do you like that? The Stars struggling to find the twine. They've only scored 2 goals in their last 3 games. The D, all Washington Capitals, 179 goals against. Third best in the National Hockey League compared to the Stars, 229. I give the edge in the physical department to the Stars. They've got Heward, Marshall, and the Hatcher Twin Towers. They all play physical. I think it's going to be a physical matchup. Both teams, special teams, both get a check. They're mirror images of each other. The Caps power play at 16%. The Stars at 15.5. The penalty killing right around 82%. So both teams, special teams, operating at the same category. How do you like those green checks? I love it.
I like it, but of all the days it should be offense as opposed to offense, you should have added apostrophe after that O between the two F's. Locker, we got to work on your St. Patrick's Day form here. As we said, this should be a great game, and let's get some final thoughts before the opening face-off with our Dave Johnson.
All right, indeed, a very intense game we expect this afternoon. Both teams are certainly thinking about the playoffs. Yes, the Dallas Stars still part of that picture. Now, this afternoon, of course, the Capitals will try to avoid giving up the early goal. It happened the other night against the Boston Bruins, and when that happens, it seems the opponent been able to dictate the pace and dictate the tempo of that first period. It's been a trend this season. In fact, in 34 of the Capitals' 68 games this season, the Capitals' opponent has scored on one of their first 3 shots. So that's something for Jim Carey. He's certainly aware of it. Something for him to keep in mind and try to come up big this afternoon as the Capitals avoid giving up the early goal. Also, I think the Capitals want to avoid giving up an early penalty. Of course, it happened in the game against the Boston Bruins on Friday night. They gave up an early penalty. It resulted in a power play goal by Adam Oates. It was the same situation about a week ago against the New York Rangers on a Saturday afternoon. Several penalties early in the contest really seemed to take the Capitals out of the flow of the contest. And of course, we know the story in that game. It was the New York Rangers coming up with a 6-1 victory. So we'll be focusing on Jim Carey this afternoon as he tries to, of course, make the big saves that can energize the team, but especially during the early portion of the contest, early portion of the first period. Let's send it back upstairs to Al Koka as we get ready for the Capitals and Dallas Stars this afternoon. Al?
All right, Dave Johnson, thank you very much. Before our opening face-off, we are going to have an on-ice presentation. The Capitals' wives involved recently in a fundraising benefit evening that was quite successful, raising money for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So let's go down to ice level and join the presentation.
Representing the Hard Rock Cafe is Assistant General Manager Duran Hughes, and the Capitals wives will be presenting the check to Donnie Friedel, a Make-A-Wish recipient, Doug White, Board President of Make-A-Wish, and Jay Rudder, Community Development Coordinator. Once again, the Capitals wives and the Hard Rock Cafe would like to thank everybody who participated in A Capital Affair. Thank you. And now will you please rise and welcome Chick Seabor in the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight all around parks we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. All day does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Chick Seabor with our national anthem. Today's officials, certainly one of the best in the business, the most veteran of all referees in the NHL, Andy Van Helleman. He will be assisted on the lines by Kevin Collins, wearing number 50, and Pat DiPuzzo, wearing number 98.
And now let's take a look at our goaltending situation this afternoon. Andy Moog, the veteran, gets the start for the Stars on the year. 11, 13, and 5. A nice save percentage, .904. You gotta like that from a veteran. But, however, he's 0-3-0 in his last three, but has had little help from his offense. They've only scored a couple. And for the Caps, of course, Jim Ace Carey leads the league in shutouts and fourth in wins with 28. Carey coming off a loss the other night.
Start this game, Dallas coach Ken Hitchcock books his big gunner out there, Mike Modano. That means Dale Hunter will oppose him. And we are underway as Modano wins the draw to Darian Hatcher. This is fired into the Capital zone. Giving chase is Ira Lehtinen, a Finnish rookie. Firing wide. Quick shot by Modano over the glove of Jim Carey. Grant Ledyard bats it back into the Washington zone. A big collision between Ledyard and Kelly Miller. And Grant Ledyard limping to the bench, assisted by linesman Pat DiPuzzo. Mark Tenorti comes up now high on Ira Lettinen, and this is going to be a penalty on Tenorti for cross-checking. And what the Capitals wanted to avoid, what plagued them against Boston, an early penalty, and this will take place with Mark Tenorti going to the box now. And the Dallas power play, in the same fashion the Boston power play started Friday night's game.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Not the type of situation you want. The Capitals, we talked, had Mark Tenorti at the top of the show saying how important it's going to be physical, but he takes an early penalty. Now the Caps once again behind the 8 ball. I was going to mention this first 5 minutes, very important for the Capitals. You'll see in the neutral zone right to the left there. Here it is. Tenorti coming in right here, gets a stick up into the face of Lettinen, and he's off for that cross-check. And the importance of the first 5 minutes, Carey plays so much better, Al, if he doesn't get an early one by him.
And so do the Washington Capitals 34 times. They have allowed the opposition to score within the first 3 shots against the Cap goaltenders. And that was the case Friday night as Adam Oates on the power play beat Jim Carey 1 minute 4 seconds into the game. Darryl Sydor swings it to Mike Modano. Modano cranks it up and fires wide. Escapes Kevin Hatcher, who had pinched down on the near boards. The Stars try and regroup. Todd Harvey going cross ice to Modano. Intercepted by Riki and out of the zone. Now a hit from behind by Kevin Hatcher on Kelly Miller does not get a call and gets some attention from the sellout crowd here at US Arena. Here's Kevin Hatcher working his way into the Washington zone. Todd Harvey lets it go to the Nieuwendyk. Swings it to Modano. It's back out to the point where Sydor keeps it in. Darryl Sydor to the front. Saved by Carey as he stops Nieuwendyk on his doorstep. Now Kevin Hatcher to Modano. And that's blocked by Carey. Sydor will crank it up. Deflected. Loose for a moment. Now it's trapped under Joe Riki. And the Capitals dodge a couple of good scoring chances by the Stars on this power play.
The Stars work the puck extremely well at that top, with Sydor being their quarterback out there, and they're just putting the biscuit at the net. They've connected for a couple of shots. Here's Sydor, just an innocent wrist shot. Look at Nieuwendyk in front. Gets a good whack at it. That's a nice save early in this period by the goaltender, Jim Carey. Let's take a look one more time at this fine save. Here it is. Look at Nieuwendyk wide open. The Capitals, they made mistakes last game that cost them. They can't have a guy behind the defense like that this early in the game on a power play out. They're making little mistakes down low. That just about cost them.
Well, this does escape the zone as it gets by Darryl Sydor with 50 seconds remaining in the Mark Tenorti call for cross-checking. Benoit Hogue now with the puck for Dallas. This pass for Hatcher broken up momentarily by Juno. Carey leaves it to Johansson. He cranks it off the glass and out. You would understand some of the fans resentful of some statements Kevin Hatcher made as he was traded, saying he wasn't respected by the Washington fans. One of the reasons he wanted to leave. They're letting Kevin Hatcher know. Now a loose puck. Gilchrist fires it over Carey and the net as a strange carom almost cost the Capitals. Andy Moe quickly head to Sydor as time is expiring on this Tenorti penalty. He is out of the box right now, so the Caps have dodged the first Dallas power play. Ivanka. This is Ledyard who's back, and Carey makes a save on a hard wrist shot by Ledyard. Thrown in front by Carbonell. Bondra leads for Ivanka. Return pass goes through the skates of Peter Bondra, and Grant Ledyard apparently is okay after an early collision with Kevin Hatcher. That's shaking him up. Now Peter Bondra looking to get a pass from Todd Krieger. Said Krieger takes it himself. Puts on the brakes. Ivanka now in the corner to Krieger. His shot's blocked. Tries to gather up the rebound, but back come the Stars on a 3-on-1. A shot wide of the net by Grant Ledyard on the 3-on-1.
The Capitals just playing poor hockey right now.
Nieuwendyk on a follow-up, and Carey sprawls to stop that after a big save on Joe Nieuwendyk. The Stars, or the Dallas Stars, I should say, have had everything going. We'll be back with more after this.
Smooth, easy, Molson Golden. Because everyone's got a golden hour. What's yours?
If you buy everything on your grocery list with a credit card, now you can use your new Giant Visa card and get something in return. Free groceries. Earn a 3% rebate toward free groceries every time you shop at Giant. Or use your new Giant Visa everywhere else Visa's accepted and earn 1%. Plus, you get a low introductory APR and no annual fee, ever. So the next time you shop, use the card that always gives you free groceries. Your new Giant Visa card.
The best chance for the Stars, 3-on-1, and it all starts in their own zone. Let's take a look at it develop. There's the bouncing puck, and watch the Stars poke it free right there. Now it's 3-on-1. Carey's already faced 6 shots. Here's the pass wide. There's another pass, and hold it here. Here's 1, 2, 3. Now Ledger's going to shoot, but he's going to shoot wide. On a 3-on-1, you've got to pass it, or you've got to hit the net. This one wide, fortunate for the Caps.
Dallas winning a face-off in Ludwig. A bullet from the blue line that Carey stops. That is the 7th shot on goal for the Dallas Stars. The Caps have yet to put anything on Andy Moog. And Craig, we talked about the Caps coming out with more fire and more intensity than they showed against Boston. That has not been the case here.
It has not. A poor start for the Washington Capitals. They seem tentative. They don't want the biscuit. They're afraid that something's going to happen. Just dumping it away, and the Stars, who have not played well the last 3 games, are taking advantage of the turnovers. The Capitals have to be more confident with the puck.
Well, here is Bondra, who will shoot and hit the side of the net. You know, Peter Bondra will not be shy of taking the puck and firing. He did it there, but hit the side of the net. Now a turnaround by Pavanka goes wide. Big blast by Todd Harvey on Steve Konowalchuk, paying Konowalchuk back for an earlier big hit. Pavanka shakes it free. We've got a line of Pavanka, Bondra, and Konowalchuk. Konowalchuk now to the bench. Todd Krieger hopping on. Pavanka giving shakes. So is Mike Lawler. Those two collide, and Lawler hits the deck. Krieger comes into the fray. Thrown back to the point for Calle Johansson. He fires, and that hits Ludwig in front. Pavanka will head to the bench as Modano stops and waits for help. He finds it to Lehtinen, but in ahead of the play was Brett Gilchrist to throw it all offside.
And we talked about Modano at the top of the show. He can fly. You'll see him coming through the neutral zone, changing gears. He goes from 1st to 5th in a matter of seconds, and he really forces the Capitals defenders back. You see, he likes to hook off with great speed. You can work the hook off, wait for the late guys coming into the plays, often looking for the defense. He likes his forwards, his wingers to go to the net. That opens up the late lane, and that's what the Capitals forwards have to look over their shoulder and pick up Kevin Hatcher, Darian Hatcher, Sidor, guys like that that like to jump into the offense.
So that 500-point milestone, Modano concerned. He had 50 goals a few years ago. Great talent. Frustrated by the overall lack of success, though, the Star team is having this year. One of the reasons for the change to Ken Hitchcock, Bob Gainey remains the Star general manager, but giving a nod to Ken Hitchcock, still ably assisted by former Capital Doug Jarvis, also helped by Rick Wilson. There's one of the good guys in hockey. An amazing story, amazing personal story of Ken Hitchcock. At one time in his life, he weighed 437 pounds.
Unbelievable.
473 pounds.
Yeah.
He is now down to 220 pounds. He has lost over 250 pounds in the last 3 years. He realized that his weight, despite all his brilliance as a coach, people weren't taking him seriously. He did something about it, and now is in the National Hockey League, a well-deserved honor for a good coach and a good man.
He spent a lot of time, you know, with Philadelphia and Kamloops. Kamloops, he had a great program there, and as you said, he needed to do that to get back into the NHL and to be a head coach. He's done a marvelous job with what he's had to play with here in Dallas.
Certainly a more aggressive style the Dallas Stars are playing under Ken Hitchcock, a little more wide open in certain instances, and we certainly have seen that on display here. Now former star Jim Johnson getting involved with Randy Wood, and this brings everybody together right in front of their Washington bench.
And Randy Wood was scratched last game, so obviously he wants to stay in the Stars lineup. Jimmy Johnson and Randy Wood going at it. Happened right in the neutral zone. Just a little push and shove match. And now it leads to this big scrum in the neutral zone. I don't think we're going to have much out of this one. Maybe the two guys at first were involved. Andy saying, hey, settle down, Jimmy J. And both guys might be heading off with minor penalties, but it might just not be anything here. Here's a little push into the left. Watch the left of the screen. There's the push on Randy Wood. There's the punch by Randy Wood. Jimmy Johnson backs away. They both exchange a few more pushes. We're going to have no penalties out of this scrum.
Benoit Hogue getting involved quickly. Kevin Hatcher to the forefront there. Todd Krieger, Juno, Peak. Working now with Heward on the ice for Ken Hitchcock Stars. That brings Craig Berube out for Jim Schoenfeld's Washington Capitals. Berube working with Pavanka and Bondra. Bill Heward out there with Carbonneau and Grant Marshall. It's Heward and Berube, two to keep an eye on, Craig.
Yeah, they're two big combatants out there. Heward really taken over from Shane Sherlock. That's why they were able to move Sherlock. The coach, Ken Hitchcock, didn't think he could give both guys the quantity of ice time that they needed. Sherlock goes to L.A. Now he's with the Rangers.
Allied Van Line's man of the month, Shane Sherlock. Going from Dallas to L.A., now cross country. Carbonneau, a little bump on Berube. Now Heward and Berube in close quarters for a moment. Heward giving chase to Gonchar. Throw it to Johnson, who gets it ahead to Berube, and now Pavanka. This is Peter Bondra trying to work and find some open room. Zip throws it to the middle where it's picked off by the Stars. Changing on the fly are the Dallas Stars. See how the Capitals answer this as Joe Nieuwendyk hits the ice with Kennedy as well as Todd Harvey. Juno on. This pass too far ahead for Berube. Andy Moog will play it for star captain Darian Hatcher, the younger brother of Kevin. Strange carom on the dump in. Carey was out to play it, had the net vacated for a moment, but Cote alertly spying that. Now Pat Peak never gets it on net as it was steered away by Hatcher as Peak was unloading. Sylvain Cote, watched by Harvey. Nieuwendyk now giving chase. Todd Harvey will play in the corner. Centering pass, Hatcher jumping in, but couldn't power the bouncing puck. Now a 2-on-1. Juno and Ustor. To Ustor. Can't get the shot away. Now gets it on. It's on the top of the goal. Crawled up Andy Moog and up into the top of the goal where Andy Van Helleman plucks it away from. A dangerous moment for the Caps. Failed to develop. We'll be back right after this.
Hello from the Plank Road Lanes, where our man Paul and the Plank Road Warriors are here to make a simple little point. This is not smooth. In fact, downright clumsy. This, however, is strikingly smooth. Ice House. It's ice brewed, so there's never any watered-down taste, just more of what you want in a beer. And what's our team motto? It's not how many strikes or spares you get, it's how fast you get to the beer frame. Thanks, and enjoy.
Sometimes little things say a lot, like this clip that lots of car makers use under the hood to connect components to the body shell. Quick and easy. Toyota uses nuts and bolts welded solidly in place. That's Toyota quality. In cars like Corolla, affordable, dependable, and now an even better value. But you knew that. Toyota, the official vehicle of the well-informed.
Welcome back to Caps Hockey. Kevin Hatcher pinches in. That leads to a 2-on-1 for the Capitals. A great opportunity, Juneau and Ustorf. And here they go off to the races. That defenseman just backing in, and they don't get an opportunity here. Juneau's pass goes off the stick of Stefan Ustorf. So not even a shot on net with just over 12 minutes left here in the first. They've now registered 1 shot on net. And that's not good enough to beat this Dallas Stars team.
Last little turn in by Ustorf that climbed up over Moog and onto the top of the cage. Been given credit to the Capitals. Now they say the Capitals have a total of 4 shots on Eddie Moog. So we've gone from 0 to 1 to 4 very, very quickly.
What's going on here?
I think the Leprechauns have gotten to the shot clock, Craig.
Yeah, what? I haven't seen 4 shots put towards the net.
Here's one, a bullet by Pavanka that's held by Andy Moog, and then Ludwig throwing down Eagles. He doesn't like that. Mike Eagles comes into the fray. Veteran Craig Ludwig recently played his 1,000th game in the National Hockey League, 14th NHL season, and I think he is about to take a trip to the penalty box for roughing.
And now take a look at his shin guards. If we can pan down on Ludwig to his shin guards, those babies are going to the Hockey Hall of Fame. They've already asked for them. Look at the size of them things. He wears all kinds of padding underneath it. The Hall of Fame says, Ludwig, when you retire them, we want those shin pads. So give them to us. We're going to put them up in TO. Here's the opportunity. Pavanka, the hard shot, and you'll see the roughing minor as he comes into the play right there. He knocks down the Capitals forward, Mike Eagles. So Ludwig, a veteran of many NHL seasons, goes to the box.
So the Capitals power play with their first bit of activity. The Stars unsuccessful with their man advantage early in the game, but they did have 4 shots on Jim Carey. So the Caps come out with the 20th ranked power play in the National Hockey League. 56 of 349 times shorthanded the Capitals have scored. The Stars, not great in terms of killing penalties. They are tied for 16th overall in the NHL, killing off 281 of 346 chances. They've got possession here, and they clear as Brent Gilchrist bangs it off the board.
And their first unit, Al, pretty veteran. They know what they're doing out there. When you've got Guy Carbonneau leading up the penalty-killing unit, you're going to have some great success in the National Hockey League. Carbonneau, too, also played over his 1,000th game this past month, so he's pretty happy playing here in Dallas, getting some quality ice time, especially special teams, penalty killing. That's his real expertise right now.
Michael Pavanka on the near board, stops, goes back to the point for Sylvain Cote. He leaves now for Joe Juneau. This is Juneau at the point, has it hop over his stick. The Caps must clear the zone. Now they've got Modano on to the Dallas Stars, a very speedy, dangerous player. Guy who looks to get shorthanded opportunities. An aggressive penalty killing forward. Now Walchuk trying to turn it around. Bondra throws it out to the slot. Nobody there for Washington. And with 50 seconds remaining in the Ludwig call, the Caps have yet to get anything on Andy Moog. Hunter will go cross eyes for Bondra. Johansson swings to Juneau. Juneau tried to get it into Peter Bondra, and again the Stars are able to clear it out. Pat DiPuzzo collides in front of the Dallas bench. The door came swinging open, and Pat DiPuzzo looks a little shaken up as he banged himself against the opening at the Dallas door. Nieuwendyk, first to it, out, and the Caps again. Nothing going in front of Andy Moog. Time expiring on their power play. Calle Johansson's got to stop and start again. Now throws it in deep, but right to it is Guy Carbonneau. They'll bang it off the boards and out. And that's going to do it. Ludwig is out. Absolutely nothing for the Caps with their man advantage.
The biggest problem there in that power play sequence, the Capitals standing around, not moving, not cycling the puck, not generating offense with speed. They're standing at the blue line, waiting for a pass rather than moving into a lane to get a nice give-and-go type play to enter the zone under control. Nothing happening on that power play.
You see the very frustrated look on the Capital coach, Jim Schoenfeld, as he sees his power play with their first opportunity of the day. Get nothing on Andy Moog. Sees his team currently outshot 7-3, but it's been Jim Carey with the answer. At the other end, Andy Moog Hasn't been severely tested, certainly not in terms of the quality chances that Carey has faced.
I like this momentum line out here for the Caps right now. You got Pivonka in the middle between Killer, Kaminsky, and the Chief. How can't you like that line now? That's awesome. They're going to stir something up here. They've got to get this team, they've got to get the fans here this afternoon into this game. So look for some big body checks or some fisticuffs in this shift here.
Certainly a little forechecking pressure wouldn't hurt. Now here come the Stars. Wood fires right into the gut of Jim Carey.
Well, that's not what they wanted out of this line. The quick break right off the face-off. 2-on-1, and Randy Wood rips it at Jim Carey. Jim Carey making his 8th save of this first period. Here it is along the wall, the scrum. The big hit right there by Riki, but look what happens. It leads to a 2-on-1. There's a hard shot from Randy Wood, a grinder-type player coming over from T.O., and there's the play right there. One more look. Good positioning by Jim Carey. A little bit of a screen there by Gonchar, but Carey following the biscuit right into his basket.
Randy Wood was always a guy who used to have some good games against the Capitals when he played for the New York Islanders. Benoit Hogue to take the draw against Pivonka. Pivonka now comes away with it, gets it up ahead to Steve Konowalchuk. Leads for Gonchar. His shot is held by Moog, and now the North Stars again continue to clean house in front of their goaltender. The Capitals react to the shove by Kevin Hatcher. You see Hatcher angrily exchanging words with Craig Berube. Pat DiPuzzo between Berube and Hatcher. Something to keep an eye on. File that away.
Andy Moog having a little chat there with Andy Van Hellemond behind the net there. Moog just a little shot on his glove maybe as that play was stalled. Here's the Capitals. Nice drop pass by Konowalchuk and just put the puck at the net. And there it is on the net. And look at in front. There's the Chief looking for any rebound. But look at that to the left right there. Ludwig nailing Konowalchuk coming into the zone right there. That's why the Capitals very upset with that hit from behind from Ludwig to Konowalchuk.
Well, Andy Van Hellemond has shown some patience, Craig. I mean, he's made a call to Mark Tenorti. He's also made a similar call to Craig Ludwig, but here he could have stepped in and done something. You saw the linesman had to get between Ludwig and Berube again. He's remained patient, but I don't think his patience is going to stay through the entire game if it continues to stay a little chippy. We expected to see Kevin Hatcher in a very physical role today. The Capitals do not want to see Kevin Hatcher come back into this building and take charge, so they will have some answers of their own. Konowalchuk, good bump there on Darryl Sador. Here comes Neuendijk into the Washington zone, backhands towards the front of the net. It goes off the body of Harvey and played by Michael Pivonka, who has logged plenty of ice time in this first period. We have 8 minutes, 57 seconds to go in the opening stanza. No score between Caps and the Dallas Stars. Al Koken, Craig Laughlin, Dave Johnson with you on St. Patrick's Day. Caps action on HTS. Here's Dale Hunter. Tries to barge his way past Mike Modano. Instead, the puck bounces off the glass in the Dallas penalty box to stop play. We'll return with more Caps hockey on HTS.
In 3 days, meet a cop who uses all 5 of his senses like weapons. The Sentinel premieres Wednesday, March 20th at 8 on UPN.
How good are Alomar and Ripken? See for yourself. There's still good seats left. Call now.
No score here at US Air Arena between the Capitals and Dallas Stars. It's that time of year where you like to do a little scoreboard watching as we take a look at the Washington Post scoreboard. Ottawa and Tampa, certainly a game we're going to keep an eye on because the Tampa Bay Lightning right above the Capitals in the Eastern Conference standings. It's Ottawa with the 1-0 lead. Steve Duchesne with the goal for the Senators. Toronto also playing today against Vancouver. Mike Gardner with the goal. They have the lead. The Maple Leafs 1-0 on the Canucks. Back upstairs to Alan Craig.
Thank you, Dave. Well, you can get a group of family, friends, and co-workers together to enjoy the excitement of the coolest game on earth. Call the Capitals office at 301-336-CAPS, where the American Express card is always welcome. 18th sellout crowd of the year today. Tickets going fast. You can see the next game here at US Air Arena on Tuesday with the Anaheim Mighty Ducks and one of the game's bright young stars, Paul Kariya. Another big star in Teemu Selanne as the Ducks come in town on Tuesday. Call the Caps office to come out and enjoy the fun. Mike Eagles upending Darian Hatcher behind the net. That's going to get a penalty. As the Caps touch up, Mike Eagles is going to go to the box. Tripping is going to be the call, and the Dallas power play back in action with 8:16 to play in this first period.
And this happens right behind the net. The Dallas Stars trying to get out of their zone quickly. Darian Hatcher, one of the big towers back there, gets the puck behind the net. Andy Moog sort of looking around where he's coming from, and he gets peeled away as the Capitals forechecking. They're not getting that first man pressure. They're not getting in there quick enough. And here's Eagles all over him, but he gets his stick caught between his legs. Upends Darian Hatcher. So the Stars go to their second power play opportunity. Their first power play out, they move the puck extremely well at the top using the umbrella, and they're just putting the puck at the net. They haven't performed very well, so they're gone to the simple power play. Forget the passing, just throw the puck at the net.
Well, the Caps win that face-off, and Tenorti fires in. You saw the Dallas Stars, the numbers, 4 shots on Jim Carey in their first man advantage. And as Craig mentioned, the rotation at the top was excellent. Here is Kevin Hatcher. Tenorti lines him up and lays him into the glass. Back in the point. Now Harvey over to Kevin Hatcher. Hatcher surrounded and has to turn and get it down to Nieuwendyk. O'Donnell back to the point for Darryl Sydor. To the front. Nieuwendyk gets a piece of it. Carey does the rest. And finally the Caps clear. And Johansson gets the job done. Now we've got a 2-line pass as Nieuwendyk is the first to touch it off the clear up from Andy Moog. We'll have a stoppage in play with 1:18 remaining in the Eagles call.
Big
Nieuwendyk earlier, and now Kevin Hatcher. And I saw Kevin Hatcher before the game. You know, here's a guy who's always been a big person at 6 feet 4 inches tall, over 220 pounds, but to me, he looks to be in much better shape than when he was here in Washington. He looks like he is being worked out. Very, very strong.
And here's a big hit by 2 big customers traded for each other right here. Tenorti on big Hatcher right there. Hatcher playing decently. He's got the big-time contract with Dallas. The thing is, he's on the trade block. The word around the NHL, he's on the trade block. What Dallas is looking for is maybe a Trevor Linden in return. So that's one of the scoops for Kevin Hatcher. Trevor Linden maybe heading towards Dallas.
Of course, for as long as Kevin Hatcher has been in the National Hockey League, the Detroit Red Wings have always expressed interest on the Michigan native, the Detroit area product. Could be a possibility as well, particularly if the Stars lose today, fall further behind Winnipeg in the Western playoff race. Trading deadline is on Wednesday. Eastern teams have been making moves. The most recent one, a pickup of first Martin Straka on waivers, and then a trade for Ray Sheppard, that by Brian Murray and the Florida Panthers.
There's big Kevin Hatcher. Lost a ton of ice time. Still in the Caps all-time 10 list when it comes to games, goals, assists, and points. This is his first game back here since being traded.
It's a magnificent year, that 34-goal year back in 92-93 to add with 45 points. You see what he's done in Dallas.
What he's really cut down there is that bottom category, only 114 PIMs. He came into the league, came to the Capitals when he first started. He could throw them, and I mean, he could really fight. I was happy when he was on the ice when I was out there so I could poke a few guys because I knew the big guy was going to be right behind. But lately, in the last few years, he's just played more. He gets a lot of respect because the guys know he's got that long reach, and if he gets mad, you don't want to wake up the sleeping giant.
Remember, he spent a little time working at the Cronk Gym where Tommy, the Hitman Hearns, did his work at Detroit. Caps get it out again, and that should just about do it on the Dallas power play. Maybe a quick rush ahead if they can make a couple of good passes. Ledger gets it up to Darian Hatcher. Gets it into the zone. That picked off by Pabonka nicely, and Eagles is out. So the Cap penalty killers have killed 2 North Star power plays, Dallas Stars. I'm going to call them the North Stars one more time. Slap myself, Craig. I apologize.
I'd say Patty's Day. I'll let you
Just
off.
not seen them for a couple of years, and look what happens. Gonchar into the zone. His wrist shot goes wide of Andy Moog. Bondra keeps it in for a moment. Now it's thrown to center ice, and back with it from the Stars, Grant Marshall. Working against Sergei Gonchar, does a nice job of one-on-one coverage. Now Michael Pivonka. Too far ahead for Bondra, as this will be touched up on the Dallas defense by Mike Lawler, another former Capital. Will have an icing call.
And the Stars trouble this last road trip. Last 3 games, they've lost 3 in a row. It was going to be an emotional game, obviously, in Montreal to open up there. And I tell you what, they lost that game, obviously, and it's been a real slide ever since. They had a lot of Montreal Canadian players on this team. Guy Carbonneau, the last guy to pass the torch in the old building, to Turgeon, the now reigning captain of the Montreal Canadiens. So it's been an emotional week for this team.
Well, I was talking to Ken Hitchcock, the Dallas coach, before the game, and he said, we go into Montreal. It's the last game in the Forum. That's emotional.
Yeah.
Then they go the very next night. They've got to play Ottawa, an Ottawa team that had 5 days off, and Jacques Martin had put them through boot camp.
Yeah.
Steve Duchesne saying in his 10 years in the National Hockey League has never gone through tougher practice, as you see Guy Carbonneau of Montreal great. Then they go to Toronto and welcome back Wendell Clark. So everywhere they went, somebody had a big emotional moment against the Dallas Stars.
And then the hitch ran into you.
Well,
I mean, there's an emotional threesome right there. The Forum, you got the Forum, you got Ottawa, then you got Elk Koken. Oh, man, that's pressure.
That is pressure. The Stars responding pretty well to that pressure as they have outshot the Caps 9-6. Still a scoreless game. Here's Bondra. Score! When you talk about pressure to score, you look at Peter Bondra. He has put a lot of pressure on himself. He has been trying to fight a slump, and what a way to do it with a bullet like this.
And look at that dipsy-do right there, the spin around, and then the wrist shot off the bad angle. And there it is, over the blocker, Pivonka and Kevin Hatcher, a screen in front of the goaltender, Moog. Watch this play. See how Pivonka comes in front? That just throws Moog off his concentration just enough for Peter Bondra to pick that far side, beating Moog over the blocker.
For the Capitals, a team desperate for the first goal, get it. Despite being outplayed by the Dallas Stars, it's Washington 1-0. Carey puts the stick down to stop Harvey. Now Darian Hatcher can't keep it in. So for Peter Bondra, he picks up his 39th goal of the year. And here's Pat Peake getting hauled down. Still gets a shot away, but this is going to be a Dallas penalty. And the Caps, with a 1-0 lead, will go to the power play.
Well,
we'll be back.
Some of the people who benefit most from the Discovered Card don't even have one. Hi, I'm Scott Hamilton. Each year, the Discovered Card youth programs recognize thousands of kids who are making a difference. In fact, Discovered Card has already contributed over $16 million in support of this unique collection of programs. So as long as there are kids with dreams, we'll be here, helping them reach those dreams.
You're watching Caps hockey on HTS, a nice matinee here at the US Air Arena. And the Capitals go to the power play right here. Look at Pat Peake catch that puck in his hand. Go around Darian Hatcher. He hooks him down. There's Peaker falling on the ice. in the high slot. Hatcher in the box. The Caps go to their power play, looking to add to their 1-0 lead. Nice graphic right there. Wow, you like that stat if you're a Caps fan. Only losing twice when they score first.
Here's Johansson's one-timer. That was bouncing on him when he got it. Sailed it wide. Now back come the shorthanded Dallas Stars. Brent Gilchrist with Johansson back there. And there's Calle Johansson with a nice intercept. Now Pat Peak throws it off the glass behind Moog. It caroms over to Joe Juneau on the far board. Juneau with some room, turns it back to Cote. Now Moog will come out and swat it around, but Johansson is there to play it. Then cleared by Mike Lawler, and he races to the bench. Fresh penalty killers on for Ken Hitchcock Stars. Caps change up front. The Caps goal scorer, Peter Bondra, is on with Michael Pavanka and Konowalchuk. Gonchar giving chase. Brent Ledyard is able to get to it first, but can't get it by Michael Pavanka. Now Konowalchuk. It's in the front of the net. Bondra shoots and Moog saved. Konowalchuk dumped down by Ludwig right in front of Andy Van Hellemond. Konowalchuk will gather again. Throws to the front of the net. Moog gets a piece of that and covers up for the faceoff.
Well, the Stars down low. They get turned around once the Capitals start cycling the puck. You can see to the left of Andy Moog there. The Capitals with a couple of great chances when they roll the top of the circle. Konowalchuk had lots of time to tee that one up. He thought he was in a rush, so he quickly shot it, as well as Peter Bondra circling off the circles. Here's Pavanka working down low, and there's Peter Bondra. Konowalchuk, there he is, tackled down, and there's the shot right there by Bonsai, hitting Andy Moog right in the gut. But if they get that type of pressure down low, they're going to cough the puck up. That's been one of the real trends for this Dallas team, is that they turn the puck over and they don't play strong down low. Ken Hitchcock says we play soft below the top of the circles. That's not a good thing if you're a Stars fan. It's real positive if the Caps can cycle the puck.
And with the two Hatcher brothers and Ludwig and Lawler, they've got plenty of size down on the blue line. Ludwig with a big thump on Pavanka. Now Pavanka to the front. Here's Tinordi to turn it around. That never gets through, as it was blocked by Randy Wood. One quick rush available for the Caps. But Peter Bondra has trouble with the puck. And that's going to do it for the Capital power play. But Craig, I will say this, on this power play, there were some quality chances. 2 official shots registered, but more activity in front against Andy Moog. Gonchar puts a little bit of a hip check on Brent Fedek and steals the puck. Gets it to Konowalchuk, who was at the end of his shift. But he'll fire in off Moog. Shots now even at 10 aside. Caps lead at 1-0. 2 minutes left to go in the period. Here's Benoit Hogue wrap around, and there's Carey to stop Hogue on a glorious chance.
That's a spectacular save. Great lateral movement by the goaltender, Carey. He was down and out on the left of the net, and Hogue very quick on the wraparound. That was a beauty for Jim Carey.
A dangerous goal scorer is Benoit Hogue, and Jim Carey remains flawless in the early going here against the Stars. Cote with Gilchrist on him. Can't get it cleared. Darian Hatcher will throw, and pinballs off Cote and skates to the far corner. Cote will try again. Up ahead to Kelly Miller. He makes the pass. It's knocked down nicely by Todd Krieger. Now the Stars trying to catch the Caps in the line change. Modano here. Got Kennedy racing to the front of the net, but look at Tinordi take Modano out. Todd Harvey with Pat Peak. Johansson out there with Kennedy. They continue to dig along the near boards under the watchful eye of Andy Van Hellemond. Puck finally squirts free, and Johansson starts up with it. Left wing side to Joe Juneau. Back to Johansson. His shot hits Ludwig. Then another return by Johansson goes through the crease. Johnson off the bench. His shot blocked by a diving Todd Harvey with 22 seconds remaining in the period. Sweeps it away. Pays the price for it, but does get it out of the zone. Then Peter Bondra with a pretty good thump on Marshall. We've got a stoppage in play with 3.6 seconds remaining in the period.
Well, the Capitals, after that start, have certainly picked it up, but they still had problems in their own zone. They're really getting good pressure. Here's the pressure. Look at Carey. Watch his lateral movement to get across. That's a wide open net right there. Fortunate for Carey, that hits the inside of his left pad. That baby going right 5-hole. Goaltenders, when they go to that butterfly, kick that leg out. That's why that underneath left leg kicked the puck to the corner. A beauty by Jim Carey.
We've had some sort of power outage in terms of the shot clock. I'd like to give you the official total of saves Jim Carey has made. Suffice it to say, it's been a lot, and he has been great. Thanks to the great goaltending of Jim Carey, Capitals were able to settle down in the first period, finally get the first goal of the game, that off the stick of Peter Bondra. And they lead the Dallas Stars 1-0 after 20 minutes of action here at US Air Arena. Up ahead, the David Poyle Report. David Poyle and Dave Johnson when we come back.
Hey, kid, what's the celebration about?
One